It is one of the sure signs that winter's fading. Major League Baseball's pitchers and catchers report this week to spring training. The Miami Marlins look very different this season, including at the top of the franchise. Future Hall of Famer Derek Jeter became a co-owner and CEO after last season. Jeff Glor met up with the one-time New York Yankees captain in Miami to talk about this next chapter in his life and what's ahead on and off the field.
Awesome. I love you, Mr. Jeter. Thank you.
Derek Jeter has taken the field thousands of times.
Thank you.
But doing so as an owner is a different ballgame. You got to win everybody over here.
Yeah, we got to earn people's trust.
A generation ago, Jeter stepped into the most storied franchise in sports and won 5 World Series championships in 20 years.
Derek Jeter has done it in grand style.
Are you a player?
No, a long time ago.
In Miami, he's essentially starting over. He traded away the team's best players, including last season's National League MVP, Giancarlo Stanton. He's also removed a number of longtime employees.
Did you fire Benny in the morning?
No, he's running around out there.
It has not been an entirely smooth transition. How much has the criticism stung?
Honestly, I don't really pay much attention to it, man. I'm an optimist. You know, I'm positive by nature, and I try to look at the fact that we do have an end game here. Everyone gets criticized, right? So that's the part when you play.
This was different. This criticism.
Well, I think it's easy to criticize. We haven't even played a game yet, right? The bottom line is we're trying to fix something that's been broken.
Jeter did retain the team's manager.
There's nothing that says you can't win right now.
Another Yankee legend, Don Mattingly. The two played together briefly in the 90s.
I think we're probably fairly aligned as far as, you know, the way we think about going about it. People are like, it's all Yankee stuff. It's like, it's not such a bad example. You know, it's not such a bad place to have come from and to have learned from.
Ironically, the last time the Marlins made the playoffs was in 2003.
And the Florida Marlins are world champions.
When they went all the way against the Yankees.
I have to bring it. I don't even know why we're talking about this.
You still a Yankee fan?
I am. Yeah, just not if we're playing them, right? I mean, this is an organization where I owe everything to. And you know, I have a great relationship with the Steinbrenner family. I will continue to do so. But it'll be strange when we play the Yankees because there hasn't been a day in my life that I've rooted against them.
Jeter has little idle time these days. He and his wife, Hannah, just welcomed daughter Bella 6 months ago.
It's by far the most gratifying thing I've ever been a part of.
Nice to go home at night.
It is, because regardless of how your day went at work, when you get home and you see a smile on your daughter's face, it makes it all worthwhile.
She have a baseball?
She doesn't. She doesn't. She throws things, though.
She does?
She does. She throws things. How old are you going to be, man?
10.
10. Double digits.
It is his daughter's generation that he seems focused on, building baseball for the future, and being exceedingly careful about discussing baseball's problems of the past. Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, those whose names have been associated with PEDs, should they be in the Hall of Fame?
It's a tough question, right? It's you know, a question for if someone is accused or someone has proven to do. You know, some opinions change over time. Some people are bullish on their opinions.
You're dancing around this.
Well, yeah, I am. You know why? Because, you know, I've played with players. You know, you play with guys that you built relationships with over time, and you get close to them and you develop a bond, and people make mistakes. Not saying you can condone those mistakes. People do make mistakes, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it is a tough question, and you know, I don't make those decisions.
When you look back 20 years from now, you see these kids who are here now who are 5 years old. What do you want them to say about you, Derek Jeter, the owner?
That we made this a fun place to come, that we built something that they can be proud of. I didn't get into this to have an exit strategy. I'm here to do it.
In Miami?
Yes, in Miami.
in Miami.
He was always such a class act and continues to be so, clearly.
And he was always the player that universally almost all fans liked.
Yes.
You know, even Red Sox fans. They don't love all Yankee fans, but they respected Derek Jeter. But this has been different because he's never faced this sort of criticism before. And the moves that he's made, both removing players and some longtime employees. But he makes no apologies for it. And he says, I have a plan. It's a long-term plan. And we have to be sustainable long-term. And I have to make changes quickly and decisively.
And while he didn't answer the question about his teammates, former teammates, I thought he handled that very, very well. He's clearly a diplomat. Yeah, even that was a classy way to do it.
Yeah, and I think from his perspective, there's guys who did this consistently over long periods of time, who knew the mistakes they were making for a long period of time, and then there were guys who may have made a mistake once or twice. And so I think he's trying to draw the line.
But I'll bet he loves best dad. Bella's dad. That's the best one. Thank you, Jeff.
Sure.